Frankly speaking, I'm here now. Let's run it. Yo. What do everybody? Welcome to the show. This is the last, frankly speaking, in this season. This is the season 3 finale. Welcome to the show. Hope you are having a wonderful week thus far. And I'm excited about tonight. Y'all know it's the season finale, so y'all know how it's gonna be. We're gonna turn up real big for tonight. We got a lot of interesting things to talk about. Well, maybe just one in particular. We might not get past that. So let's get it started tonight. Y'all know how we do. For the first minute, I need everybody to share. Even those on the platform, I need you to share. Everybody on the platform, share. Begin tagging people. If you're on Facebook, look down at the bottom of your screen and press share. If you're on Facebook, tag somebody. If you're on YouTube, make sure you share it as well. We'll give you about 60 to 75 seconds to do that. And while we are doing that, y'all know how we do. Get some beats going. First, are y'all excited about the show tonight, man? It's the season finale. How y'all feeling?
Tashiana.
Hey, can y'all hear me without me? Am I echoing?
No.
Okay.
Oh, cool. It's great now.
Man,
how y'all feeling tonight, man?
You feeling good?
Tina, how you feeling?
I think that the women are gonna shock y'all tonight. That's what I think.
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I was just watching something about this baby daddy stuff. I know you might touch it. I don't know how you're gonna deal with it. It kind of pissed me off, but I'm good now.
Yeah, we gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. But look, before we get into anything, man, I need everybody to tag somebody. I need everybody to share right now. Let's get to it. All right. everybody has shared by now. Man, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Surprise. We're gonna do the icebreaker a little different tonight since it is the season finale. We're gonna do it little different tonight. So, Tim, what's something on this show with these women in particular that you wanted to ask all season, but you haven't had an opportunity to ask? It can be anything.
Did you say Tim?
Yes.
Oh man. Now the young lady all the way down to the bottom. I don't think I know her, do I?
That's Miss Jalen.
Oh, that Jalen.
Jalen, why your phone looking like that?
She looking real good, but I didn't know who that was.
That's Miss Jalen.
Oh, what did I want to ask?
I'm in a remote location. Sorry.
You always somewhere.
I don't like that remote location. So, I don't know. What did I want to ask all season? I know they cap a lot. They do a lot.
What they be capping about, Tim?
Just, especially Miss King, she says a lot of stuff, and the people in the comments section, they just be like, we love you, Queen. And it really doesn't have any substance at all to it. Hey, Money, what's up, man? I ain't know that. I was looking at, and so it was always, but I don't know. I can't think of nothing, Frank, that I would want to ask them. They're really not worth too much, Like
wow.
Tonight, this is the grand finale. We going out with a bang tonight. I'm not holding no punches back tonight.
What's up, my Linda? How you? Hey, everybody. Tashiana, what you got for the fellas? For the fellas that you haven't, what you?
I mean, I don't know. I just wonder how many of y'all's DMs, like your DM energy, matches your on stage energy, because that's what I be wondering. I mean, that's always been one of mine, but outside of that,
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
If your DM energy match your what now?
You're outside your own stage energy, for the people energy. You wonder.
Wow.
I don't slide in DMs. I'm just saying.
And let's be clear. Y'all know I don't think there's anything wrong with sliding in DMs. Y'all know.
Right.
I'm an advocate for it.
You asking, are we the same as we are here?
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what it is.
I mean, I'm the same. I don't think you can be the same because it's a case by case scenario. Sometimes you might have to go straight for the gusto. Sometimes you might have to, take a different approach. So it's different. It's impossible to be the same.
Clee, what's something you want to say to or wanted to ask the fellas or the people in the comment section that you haven't had an opportunity to all season, or just something that's been on your chest that you want to get off your chest?
You to come back. I don't got nothing.
Travis, what about you?
I ain't got nothing, man. I'm good.
Mo, you got anything?
I'm good.
Let's make sure all hearts and minds are clear tonight.
Why y'all be so hard on us? Why y'all be hating on us women that hard?
Ooh.
That's my question, because even Tim saying we're not worthy. I think all of us on this podcast is very worthy, first and foremost. But I mean, why y'all always, every time we put our input, we're in our feelings. But when y'all say what y'all want to say, y'all not in y'all feelings.
Because y'all be wrong.
That's my question.
Yeah, why is it like that though? That's a good one, Mo. It's like, why especially in the Black community, I feel like the women and the men, we so against each other. Like we need to
Like
kind of.
y'all not worthy of anything. What makes you so worthy? That's my question.
He's not.
That's my question.
Who?
Fam, you said it. You said it, fam.
You
See,
said we weren't
you know-
worthy. So what makes you more worthy than
You
him?
I realize that
Brittany.
since after the passing of Kevin Samuel, we've been at an all-time low.
I agree.
Yeah, we need another Kevin Samuels because the women of nowadays,
Just running in the wilderness.
yes.
Therefore, he doesn't know why he's worthy. Continue with the topic of the night.
Money, what you got? What you got?
I hope y'all learned something. You know what I'm saying? That ain't just everybody on the panel. You know, I rock with y'all. Clee, Tatiana, Mo, y'all know I rock with y'all. But yeah, it's to the people watching. It's for men and women. Hopefully y'all have taken something throughout this entire season, from whether it was the knowledge Clee has dropped, whether it's Tim popping in every now and then when Tim do him, Tim just Tim, man. You got a bunch of different people on this panel, so hopefully y'all found y'all favorites and who y'all like, and hopefully they've given some information that you can use.
Well, I can't say this though. Money, you said that we learned something from here. And I know earlier we were all texting and somebody said something about their personal growth and how it, this group of people kind of like helped them, with that. I can say I am a little bit more sensitive now towards men's feelings. I am a little bit more willing to like listen and try to understand men a little bit more now because I have gained, some guy friends and you get guys' perspective on things. And I recently have done some self-reflecting and be like, I may be a little bit hard on a nigga every now and again.
Question: Have you retired your city girl? Are you still with the city girls, or you transition?
See, this is the thing. I posted it today. Like I'm a city girl, but I'm a little girl too. So it's kind of like I want to go outside, but
They
baby,
don't go together.
But baby, come pick me up. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to still go outside, but I want him to come pick me up. I go home with him afterwards. But I'm gonna go outside.
We want to thank God for
So it's a
Clee.
balance.
We want to thank God for Clee and her conversion. We still got work to do, but we happy.
Anybody got anything they want to get out their chest for?
I have a question.
All right.
Move it. Why the hell don't y'all women believe in accountability?
We do. It's men that don't.
Why is it always blame shifting and blame deflecting? We gonna and watch what happens tonight. You're gonna blame shift and deflect. You don't believe in accountability. That is like kryptonite to you women.
May I respond?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
What happened? Oh, sorry. Okay. I just want to say that I acknowledge on behalf of women everywhere that how we respond may not have made you all feel acknowledged and heard. And so we're working on that and we want to take accountability for that. So moving.
All right, man. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. So I'm sure everybody saw the video, right?
No.
Everybody saw the video. Everybody did not see the video. All right. So there's a video out of this young lady. At the beginning of the video, she begins by saying, "I'm getting ready to expose my baby's father." And the reason she's getting ready to expose him is because he continues to bring his child food while not bringing the other children food. He has one child by her. She has 4 children. She has 3 other children. He has one child by her. So she begins the video by saying, "I'm getting ready to expose him because he always bringing his child something to eat while not bringing his siblings anything to eat." The video goes on. They are arguing back and forth. She's saying he's trifling. He's saying I don't have a responsibility to bring anyone's child anything to eat other than my child. And so she refuses to allow his child that he has by her to receive the food.
This
She said
setup is powerful.
she says no, he cannot uh eat this food because the other kids, my other children, cannot eat. So if you didn't bring all of them something to eat, then your child cannot eat either. She finally receives the bag and the drink and she throws it on the ground and says, "Stop bringing
Trash.
one child something to eat while not bringing all of them something to eat." He says it's not his responsibility. So let's get into that. Does a man have responsibility? Keep in mind now, they're not together. They're not together. He's just bringing his child something to eat. So does a man have responsibility to feed all the kids, all of his child's siblings that are not his,
Hell
just
nah.
because they are in the house? Let's talk about it. How y'all feel about that?
Man,
I want to answer before I forget what I want to say.
Go ahead.
No, he does not have a responsibility to do it. However, in that particular situation, it all depends on if something was discussed prior to. If this is something that he does all the time, bring his child food and leave the other kids left out, and she was like, well, if she's explaining it to him, well, when you do that, that kind of makes the other kids feel a certain way. Don't do that. I kind of feel like both of them were very immature in the situation because those children kids typically do not understand, what's really going on. So no, he's not responsible for that, but it's a nice thing to do. If you have any morals and and it's McDonald's, like you can't get 4 cheeseburgers, it's not like a steak dinner, you took them out to a fine dining or something like that. I typically feel like kids do not understand it. The kids did not, but I do think the mama shouldn't have went off like she did, trying to expose him and all that stuff like that. That was pretty dumb, immature. I just think that the father should have just come and pick his son up. Come pick your son up, take him with you. If you want him to eat and you don't want him to eat in front of his siblings and make them feel no type of way, then fine. But if you're going to bring food to the house and just bring your child something, I do think that that's kind of mean, but it's not necessarily his responsibility. That's what I think.
Okay.
It is
I'm gonna
that
give
it is
y'all
that mother's responsibility.
my feedback.
Let's let the ladies answer first, y'all.
I'm gonna give my feedback. So specifically from listening to logical people, I see logical who explain the video, I feel like the mom was out of pocket. Now, yes, like emotionally, it might have been wrong or whatever, but going with what Ray Baby said earlier, this is an opportunity for her to take responsibility and accountability. Because the reason why we could talk about like it's not cool that the kids are in the situation, and it's not, and it certainly sucks. But the reason why the children are in the situation is, in part because of the mother's actions. And in this particular instance, where there's one father bringing something for one child when there's more than one, and the other kids don't have, and she's not able to provide, that's where mom gets to be accountable and, have conversation with her kids about, hey, this is why, or put herself in a position where this is a non-issue. That probably wasn't the cool thing to say. And for the person who said, if he wasn't broke, he probably wouldn't mind. I don't even think this is an issue of money. It's not about that. And I haven't seen the video, but this is just, kind of hearsay and context. So I don't know what that's about. It has nothing to do with brokenness. Apparently, it had a lot of entitlement in there, and they're not in a relationship. Heck no. So that's my 32 cents.
I mean, I kind of agree a little bit, but at the same time, it's just like they kids. Like I'm this type of person, and I'd be like, okay, if the other kids there, okay, you want some McDonald's, okay, well then bring the kids something. It's McDonald's. I don't think I would have made. I don't think I would have made that big of a deal about it. And then I probably wouldn't have 4 different baby daddies, and I see people in the comments saying, what the other baby daddies doing. We don't know. Maybe those other baby daddies will bring their kids McDonald's. Just at that moment, the other baby daddies didn't bring McDonald's. And so she might have been like, don't do that. My other kids want McDonald's too. And if I told them they can't have McDonald's, but then you tell them they can, and you bring just your child McDonald's, that does cause a problem. And as the mother, she probably like, okay, like, no. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let one have, and I told the other ones no. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly the kids live with her. So let's just be honest about that. How often do he have his kids?
She's the sole custodial parent. The mother's the custodial parent.
But I think the other thing that we're missing
so what weekend day you want to bring McDonald's up on Wednesday evening, just bring your child some. Like, I mean, I feel like both of the parties were just very immature. Like he was being petty because he knew those other kids was over there, and she was being extra as heck, doing all that screaming and hollering, trying to expose people on the social media.
But didn't the mom call the dad to tell him that his son was hungry, or do I have that wrong?
All we have on the video is the dad that walk into the door with a bag of McDonald's for his child only. And she was like, why you doing it?
Which is well within his right to do so.
It's probably something that's been done before.
She says in the video he does this all the time. Just brings his child something to eat, but while not, she says in the video, he does this all the time. Bring his child something to eat while not
that means
bringing.
There has been a conversation that has been had saying don't keep doing it. So at that point, he should have just come and got his child and say,
"I know that."
I feel like at this point, just come pick your son up. If you want, just come get him.
Okay. How about she cook her children something to eat? You getting food stamps.
Okay, but how often do we hear about? I mean, in situations where that one child got their own phone, they call their daddy, Dad, I'm hungry. Mama probably done cook dinner. But this baby probably called and said, Dad, I want some McDonald's. Listen, and the daddy just ain't called the mama and had to communicate and just brought McDonald's. And the mama said, no, don't do it.
This man is, Mo, I'm going to let you go. Mo.
I do agree with Clea on one thing. And I think that this pretty much all could have been avoided if he would have just took his child and drove off, spent that little time and fed him. But I do not think he is wrong. I just do not. I'm a mother of one. In this situation, I see a lot of people in the comments saying what they wouldn't do, but we're going off this situation, correct? And was this situation wrong? And do we agree with this? I feel like he is not responsible. And a lot of you, Clea, you're trying to take up for somebody, but you're also trying to take up for somebody who tried to expose a man for doing what he's supposed to do.
Well, no, but I also agree that it was.
We have to think of the maturity level of what we're dealing with. We're talking about accountability, like Tashiana said. You're trying to embarrass somebody who's actually feeding their child. But what about the other fathers? Are they accountable? You're sitting here, and I feel like it goes back to what Money say all the time: damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because if he didn't come feed his child, then she would have been on Facebook. He don't do nothing, just like the rest of my baby daddies. I'm not saying in no means should he neglect the other kids, but is it really neglect when they're not his children? I feel like it's more so of the mother neglecting. Like he said, if you're receiving food stamps, why you don't got no food? And even if the child did use his phone because that's his daddy and the daddy pay his phone bill or however, how is it wrong for him coming to feed his child if he did call his daddy and tell him to bring
I never said it was wrong. I never said it was wrong. And I never said
I was just saying, like, I don't feel like nothing about this. Only thing that I thought was just completely irrational and immature was her doing it on live, because what does that do? That creates a bitter father. Now he gonna get to the point to where the child ain't never gonna get McDonald's. Now all your kids hungry. I feel like as long as he's accountable for what, now if he does something extra, God willing, that's a beautiful thing. A lot of men probably would, but we can't knock him for not doing it. That's my opinion. Because how do we know he hasn't done it before and she still was irate and crazy and ungrateful?
And how do we know?
Them your kids. Them ain't my kids.
But Mo, how do we not know that the other baby daddies don't bring all the kids McDonald's too, and he just the one that don't do it?
I think like Ray made a very logical point. You are on the video talking about food stamps. Why it ain't no food? You got 4 kids. I don't get food stamps, so I can't relate. But you got 4 kids, you getting food stamps. I agree. You should have some food.
She getting food stamps on the video.
She said her food stamps haven't came in a lot of times. I'm waiting on my food stamps. She need to feed my son.
First, she said my food stamps don't come until the 7th. Then she said they don't come to the 11th. So she changed her story in the middle of the story. But she did clearly say she gets food stamps.
You know, I agree with the people in the comments saying, you know, if it was me, I would feed all the children. Yeah, I would too. I'm that person too. But I'm not feeding your child every time I feed mine. I'm not gonna sit there and act like I am.
Jaylen,
I can agree with that. That's why.
Jaylen, you want to give your take? Right, hold up, Clee. You want to give your take right quick?
Yeah, this is the woman about the child. She was mad because he only brought his kids something to eat, right? Yeah, I agree. I don't see anything wrong with him bringing his child something to eat. That he's not their dad. So, is she not holding their dads accountable for them eating, or what?
This my position on this.
We can go off what we see, so we don't really know what the other father's doing. But you can't.
Whether the other father step in sometimes and get something for all of the kids or not, I feel like that's just them being generous. That's not something they have to do. That's a courtesy for them doing that. I don't think there should be a requirement, them feeding all your other kids. It looked like to me you should only have one child then if you can only afford to feed one child.
Well, I agree with what Tashiana said. You need to more focus on why you can't do it solely as a mother, because I tell people all the time, you can't teach a man how to be a father. That's either gonna happen or not. So at the end of the day, you're the mother and you're the sole parent. You need to focus on providing for your children and stop depending on what somebody else can do. Because if you have to depend on a man to feed your children, you need to try to work. Obviously, he needs to get custody of that one child, in my opinion. So I feel like sometimes as women, we focus on.
Hold on, Mo. Hold on. All right, fellas. Y'all turn to respond to the initial thing. Is this man? Do you feel like a man is responsible for feeding? You got a child with this woman. She has other children. Are you responsible? Are you obligated that when you bring your child something to eat, you should bring all of the children in the house something to eat? Fellas.
Go ahead, Money.
I was about to say this is a negative. I am. I'm one of them guys that I think anybody on this panel that knows me personally knows that I'm the dude that would pick up something for everybody. It's just always been me. Whether it's my child or not, I got a thing for the kids and just people in general. But one thing I would not be quote unquote exposed for taking care of my child how the rest of your other baby daddy should be doing. Like you just not gonna bother me up like that. I feel like that was real childish on her part. Throw the food out on the sidewalk, like super disrespectful. And but I mean, at the end of the day, man, you have to be accountable for the people that you choose to reproduce with. And she didn't just end up like this, I guarantee you. So I mean, the man has to take some accountability on the type of woman that he planted his seed with. But at the same time, like I ain't going for none of that. She was wrong. I really don't care for anybody to defend it. To me, there was childish behavior on every level whatsoever, and that was pathetic, bro. It was one of the worst videos I've seen. How she just did it. That was foul.
And if she threw the food in front of the kids, that wasn't. I don't think that's not correct.
Because it throws away your whole argument. Now the kid hungry again. That's just, you didn't put your child first, in my opinion. You know, take your emotions elsewhere. And a lot of us women, we do that when we get bitter. You know, we'll do anything to kind of control or narrate a situation for our, and it's just you didn't put your kids first, even though your argument is about putting your kids first. It don't make sense.
Yeah, what you're saying about being logical is right. Somebody just sent me, I think it's maybe part 2, and she says, well, she's like, how does it help me that you only brought one kid? And I'm like, well, if you have 4, I mean, just simple math. Now you only have 3 you have to feed. Or 3.
Fellas.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is sad. It just goes to show how much the hypocrisy in women. They fight all day. We just seen a Supreme Court ruling that caused a lot of women to become disgruntled about the right to choose. My choice. Well, if you're fighting for and you feel that you're entitled to this choice to do whatever it is that you want to do, how is it that a man gets crucified for his right to choose? We have an option to do something for somebody else's child that's not ours. So you mean to tell me that this child's emotional well-being rests solely on a man that's not even responsible for him? If he chooses to not bring some other kids something to eat, then he's the villain. Like, how is that? He has an option. It should be respected if he brings him something to eat. But the same way you respect him for bringing him something to eat, you should respect his option that he don't want to do it because he's not obligated to do it. So like Money said, this is just one of the worst videos that I have ever seen. But it's sad that it's a lot of women out there that act like that. They try to guilt men into taking care of children that are not theirs. You try to hold a man accountable for something that you ain't even holding the father accountable for. Like, I just don't understand the logic in it.
What was her argument, y'all? I didn't see the entire video. What was her reasoning for like trying to expose him? What was her defense?
That he does it all the time. That he always
does
brings
the one and not the other. In a nutshell.
Yeah. Tim, what you got?
You know what? I'm a piggyback off of one of Money's points, and this should be a lesson for all men out there that's barebacking these women and not pulling out. You got to think, brother, because here's the thing. I could tell by her actions, her personality, she was given this way before this child. And I'm not excusing anything that she's done. But this is like the fruit of what you get when you sleep with women like this. And so, like, you gotta think, like, even though this moment is gonna feel good for 10 seconds, but I gotta deal with this type of woman for 18 years
or longer.
Like, no, because it's a lot of women like her. She ain't the only one. As a matter of fact, it's women like her and Tashiana. You're gonna agree that if women got money that may deal with it a whole different type of way. It ain't got nothing to do with her being broke or waiting on food stamps. They come in all types of different categories. And so you got to be very conscious and like, okay, before I make this decision, because all these problems would have been, not non-existent if he had just pulled out.
Or not did it at all.
Or she should have swallowed.
Because clearly she's been like this, like you said, because like these must be some, different type of people.
So I'm kind of mad at him a little bit. You know what I mean? I get, you make bad decisions, but you gotta live with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you grow up in the hood, you see women like that all the time. You know what I mean? Should he have bought the other kids some food? No, that ain't his damn kids. Buy his kids some food. I don't want to hear about the kids' siblings. This is not the kids' siblings foundation. I don't have a cash app for the kids' siblings. This is when I'm going to buy some food from, and then I hear y'all was saying, well, he should have picked the son up, and he offered. He said, okay, go get my son.
He did.
and I'm gonna put him in the car so he can get something to eat. She said, "Okay," grabbed the food and threw it in the street.
Yep.
She's insane. I didn't hear that. So yeah,
she did. Travis, what's up?
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I would say this. Growing up, you go spend the night over somebody's house. Back then, I don't know how. I just speak for me. If you went over your folks' house, your parents would be responsible enough to leave some money behind. But depending on who the person was that you spent the night with, don't worry about it. They're gonna eat what my kids eat. All right, this one. My second point would be that woman's bitter. He done moved on, got him another woman. You know what I'm saying? He living happily ever after without her, and she bitter as heck, so to speak. And so she wants to make his life miserable by, why you can't get nothing for all the kids? Now, mind you, I will point this out. If she had kids while I was dating her and I had a relationship with those kids, then personally, I would feel obligated to get all the kids something to eat. However, I'm not obligated. Sorry, bad choice of words. I would have gotten the kids something to eat simply because of the relationship I would have had with those children prior to my child coming into this earth. However, it's not my responsibility to get those kids food because as a mother, you the matriarch, you knew them kids was hungry, feed them children. Also, and my last point, this also brings up a valid point that a lot of women are prideful because you knew that man was getting his baby something to eat. Why couldn't you just say, well, hey, do you mind getting the other kids something to eat? A lot of women will not ask. My Bible says that you have not because you ask not. And they will
let me pose this question. Why do women always say, well, me and my child are a package deal? Like, are you not when you dealing with a man, you don't come to a situation where listen, you automatically off top trying to make this man responsible for something that's not his.
Hold on now,
Samuel. No, that's not what a package deal.
That ain't the same thing.
Is it not the same? It's not the same?
No.
How is it not the same?
No.
Because they don't say they're
first of all, I'm a package deal, but that doesn't mean, first of all, like I had said to y'all earlier, my children aren't looking for a daddy. I am. So there's that part. So a package deal just means that how I'm structured, what I'm able to do, my flexibility. Like
I'm just asking for clarity.
Things to consider because I do have children. I'm not a single unattached woman. I don't expect nobody to provide for my children. They have a father for that.
But see, it's a lot of women like, and see, you're different than a lot of other women because a lot of women don't have that perspective. They don't come into a situation saying, I'm not looking for you to be a father to my child because I got him covered.
But here,
I know a lot of women that are like that. I think the big thing is the other piece is like, I'm also going to consider how my children interact with you if you get to the point where you get to meet them. So it's like understanding those types of things. Like, it's not just about me. That's, to me, when I say a package deal, that's what I mean.
Hey, Sam, I'm only going to agree with you once a year. Here's my one. Only reason I got to disagree because I can't separate the child and the mother if I want to be with the mother. And in some sense, however you want to look at it, you're going to be responsible for her kids as a man in the relationship. I mean, to me, if I decide to date a woman, she got a child or she may have 2 kids, I'm responsible for the 4 of us, not my wife and my wife got to make sure it's not going to be her kids.
But I believe I thought he was talking about like in the beginning, like the dating, getting to know phase. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, at the end of the day, the end result is going to be responsibility for the whole family.
Yeah, but to me, it's different because once I get married to someone and I have children, yes, I expect it's a we and vice versa. But dating, I'm not the woman who's going to say, oh, you want to take me out? Okay, well, when I leave, I'm gonna order to goes for me and my kids, and you're responsible for paying for them,
Yeah,
and
but
you're responsible
I'm
for
only
an
talking
adult,
about the majority. That's a
But I'm
minority.
saying I don't mean that.
That's a
The
minority
people say
conversation.
that. That's not what I'm saying. And I
But
think that's what Ray Baby
I think
is
that's a
saying.
minority conversation. Whenever somebody's dating someone, and I'm going on mute, I don't think the kids really come into conversation really as much in the dating. All I hear
why I asked the question.
All I
Yeah,
hear
that's
is,
what he was
listen, I
asking
just want
of
to let
me.
you know that I got kids. I got a son. How many kids you got? I got 2. Then after that, we go on about our business. We grown.
Yeah, because either you're gonna continue or you're not. Either you can deal with
That's
the
it.
kids. Either you can
So-
deal with the package deal or you can't.
So if you have not shared yet, go ahead and share for me. Listen, we just at the sip of the juice yet, but it's gonna get real juicy tonight. Maybe even get real controversial. Some people may even get in their feelings tonight, even in the comment section. I'm telling you, it's going down tonight. We're gonna make it real interesting for this season finale. So if you have not shared yet, please share. So I think the consensus is amongst the men that a man is not obligated, responsible for children in the house that are not his, because the context is he's not dating her. This is somebody we don't know the context of their child. It could have been a hot and hot night, or they could have been in a relationship together and it just did not work for whatever reason. We don't know the context of that. But the fact that we do know is that they are no longer together. So I think most of the men are agreeing with that man is not responsible or obligated for the other children in the house, right or wrong?
Agreed.
Correct.
But the ladies are saying Clee. I feel like Clee was the only one who said that he should have got the other
No,
children.
that's not what I said. That is not what I said.
Okay, calm down. I'm just saying. I said I think.
No.
It's the snuggie for me.
You may clarify what did you say? What are you saying?
What I said was everybody in this situation was childish and irresponsible. And I also said that it's not his responsibility, no. But it
So
was
what
just
made
a nice
him childish and irresponsible?
Just
Hey, can I
because
speak
people
for?
smart,
Hey, Cleve, can I
but
speak
I
for
didn't
you?
watch the whole video either. So
Hey,
my
Cleve.
whole thing was I just said just pick your son up and take him. Like, nah, I don't want, you know what I'm saying? That's how I ultimately feel about it. Take your son
Hey, Cleve.
and feed him. The other kids, I don't want to hear their mouth about they didn't get no McDonald's. I didn't say it was his responsibility because it's not. He's not obligated. Like Travis said, but it's the courteous thing to do. It's the nice thing to do. Bring the other kids some McDonald's. That's what I said. I didn't say he was responsible for them.
Hey,
But it would
Cleve,
be the nice thing to do.
hey, can I piggyback off Cleve?
Go ahead.
Cleve is actually right. I'm gonna tell you why Cleve is right. Because if you got any hood, if you grew up like any type of hood, I grew up in some of the worst parts of the hood. And it was always a baby daddy, baby mama scenario in the hood. And truth be told, and money, you know this, that man always did come bring food for all the kids. So he was kind of like, I get what we saying on the internet today, but the real hood man would be responsible. Like for McDonald's, he knew she had 4 kids. You ain't coming to the hood though with just something to eat for just your child. Now,
I don't know though.
That's just how I grew up.
I don't know because like
in the country, you feed all them kids.
Nah, but what I'm saying is, if he choose to come there with something for just his child, he's not wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong, but he going against the rules of the hood.
No, I ain't gonna roll with
like
that.
If he gonna take one, if he gonna come get his kid, take it to the park, he took all the kids to the park. That's just how that was a 90s rule.
The park is free, and we ain't talking about that.
All right, let's put some more skin in the game. Let's say it's 4 boys. Let's say it's 4 boys, and this man wants to take his son to the barbershop. Mm-hmm. The other children head nappy, ain't had a haircut in 2 months, but he wants to come take his son to the barbershop. Should he also take the other three boys to the barbershop?
No,
Is he
no,
wrong? Is he childish if he just
no,
comes to take his son to the
no,
barbershop?
no, 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 no. He's not wrong because
A
now
haircut is not a
he's becoming
necessity.
he's becoming obligated
Who is?
because if he do it one time, look, he can do it one time on the strength, on the GP.
I'm on his
Like,
side. I'm
yeah,
on
come
her
on.
now.
Yeah, come on, y'all.
I'm on
I
her
feel
side.
like this. If we're dealing with this woman in particular, he is not wrong because
He
I
wrong.
feel like in this situation, if he does it once, she's gonna hold him accountable for that. Now, I feel like if you're a mother who always gets your children haircut, you normally always get them all done, or all their daddies normally come through when it's a time, maybe it's picture day. I think that he's not responsible, but I think if you have the mother of your child is not like that lady, I don't think nothing's wrong with it. But I wouldn't do nothing for her. That lady, I don't feel like he should do anything for her because she doesn't do anything for herself. And that's the type of woman that we're dealing with. Now, if this is a situation where you know the mother of your child always come through for all of your children, she normally take care of everything. I can see a man offering versus the other woman, but I still don't think he's accountable. I think it's just who you're dealing with, in my opinion.
I'm on her side now.
But can I ask? So let me say this. So, like, say if, because I have a friend who has boys, and she's married, and when the boys were younger, when one dad would come get the other one, the brother wanted to go with his brother. You know what
Facts.
I'm saying?
Thank you.
And they
Yes.
were both little boys. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And so now at this point they're big boys now, but sometimes they stay with their dad if they don't want, because they're older now. But when they was little, their little brother wanted to go with his big brother when he went over his daddy house, and their daddy allowed him to come. You know what I'm saying? Because kids don't understand it. They don't grasp it. It's about the children ultimately. That's not his daddy. He know that's not his daddy.
Okay, let me
But I don't know how they work.
ask you
I
that.
think a big thing we
I
don't
agree
consider
with
is
you.
how people deal with one another. Because we're
Right.
talking about this lady here, the way she talks, like Mo said, are you crazy? Like, I'm doing the bare minimum for you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to get my son from you, and I'm gonna pray for the other three. So it's not about anybody trying to mistreat the child, other children, or make a difference, but it goes back to being accountable. So then you talk about haircuts and all these other things. I do believe that when women will ask and they do all they can, they're not waiting for somebody to do something for them like that. I do think that when there's multiple fathers involved, I believe we've all seen it. People are willing to help out and pitch in and all this other stuff. But sis, you chose to have, for whatever reason, multiple people involved. You can't, be making demands, and it's like beggars can't be choosers. It's that simple.
They should have been like me. They should have stopped.
What you got, money?
Period.
Cause I'm trying not to go on a rant.
Well, ran on. It's the
Come
finale.
on, bro. Let's go, man.
Let's go, money. Let's go, baby.
I'm getting I'm over here heated. Like, I'm heated,
What?
and I'm trying not to show it. But I'm getting so pissed off listening to this, bro. Like, oh my God. See, Tatiana just was going exactly where I was thinking. Like, for the people on the panel and anybody that is watching this, please take into account how discombobulated this situation is. Bro, how, like, this has to be the worst situation for children and the parents involved. I will say this. If you are a woman and you are already currently in a situation like this where it's, multiple kids, multiple baby fathers, I would not judge you. But if you are not currently in this situation and you choose to go down this road, these go hand in hand with the circumstances you put yourself in. This is destroying those kids. This is destroying this relationship. This is a really, really bad look. And eventually, this whole accountability word that we're using has to be put in effect. If you are going to continue to be manipulated by the men that you run into and have child after child after child, you should think, like, you should, though, to me, like, outside of the people who the women who are responsible with their bodies and they're passing all these laws of getting rid of abortion clinics and stuff like that. If you're responsible, that should not bother you that much. But for the people who find themselves in situations like this, I understand why you would want to keep that in your back pocket because it removes accountability. You can do what you choose to do and then always have an out. Always have this man pay you to get your abortion, whatever case might be. And this is a situation where it's taking such a bad look and it's leaving a bad taste in my mouth, even though I'm not in a situation like this and haven't been in a situation like this. This just shows how discombobulated our culture is. Stop having so many damn kids with so many people, bro.
I
You
agree
see what
with
I'm
that.
saying? Like stop having these situations. Stop putting yourself in these situations that you don't want to take accountability for and then get upset because one dad is taking care of his child better than the other ones. Like if that's the case, try to make something happen with that man. If that's the one that's taking care of his child more than the rest, you need to be trying to figure out whatever this man likes or whatever the situation that you can get in good. And you need to be trying to marry this dude because obviously he's responsible and he's gonna have to deal with you for multiple years. You should be trying to figure out some kind of out. Because at this point, you got yourself in so much stuff that at this point you should be trying to at this point beg a man to take you and your situation and your kids that come with it. It is too much. I did not mean to rant, bro. This is pissing me off. Stop putting
What
yourself
about
in
the
these
man though?
situations.
You put a little
No,
Kevin
no,
Samuels
no,
at the end of that.
no. I had already said that. I had already said me and Tim talked about this. The man has to be accountable because you know who you slept with. Like, look, y'all, I'm not making this about me. I was 30 years old before I had my first child. This does not mean I'm a saint. This just means I was careful. You know what I'm saying? I evaluated every situation. I wasn't feeling like people was after me and nothing like that. But I just knew I'm not gonna be in no situation with no bitter baby mama. I'm not gonna be in no situation where I have to. She already has a child, and then I have to take care of my child. And now I have issues with her, and possibly baby daddy problems. Man, that's too much for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking nobody who's in them situations. All I'm saying is, if you are in these situations, try to figure out some kind of solution to where it does not get magnetized to where it gets worse. And if you're not in one of these situations, don't put yourself in it. That's it, man. That's all I got, cuz.
All right, sidebar, real quick. Sidebar, real quick, fellas. If you're in a relationship with a woman you have a child with, or she has children, and you're the man of the house, you've accepted the children, you're a father figure in their life. Should she ever have to go to the barbershop? Or is
Man,
it cool for her to go to the barbershop to take her child to the barbershop? Or should that be a you thing? Sidebar.
get rid of him immediately if they was in a relationship and he didn't take them other kids to the barbershop. That means he can't handle the responsibility that comes with her because you can't separate her and her kids. It's I understand. I don't know how y'all define the package, but I mean, in all actuality, it's a package. Like that's what comes with this.
Even if they ain't together.
No, he's saying they in a relationship.
No, I'm saying if you're in a relationship with a woman and she has children, should she ever have to take any one of the children to the barbershop?
Yes.
Sometimes she might look. Sometimes his schedule might not allow him to take the child to the barbershop all the time.
The schedule killed him.
She ain't above taking it, but me personally, I've always prided myself on taking my sons to the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something that me and my sons have always done. You know, so I personally would not allow my children's mother to take my sons to the barbershop. Me personally. But I don't think that there's something wrong with if she chooses to take them. But I wouldn't want her to do it. Me personally.
In my situation, the father has a great relationship with the son, and so she doesn't impede with their relationship, nor would I. You know what I'm saying? So, and if another thing is, if he can't take, i.e., the father can't take the son to the barbershop, then she will take him to said barbershop because there's something about the relationship with a man and their barber. I'm not going to take this young brother to his barber. I'll probably take him to mine because I think his haircut probably trash. So I'll probably take him to my barber and let him get chopped the right way. You feel me? But I'm not a father. I don't have kids. But I can see it from their father's standpoint. I would want my son to go to my barber. So I wouldn't want to overstep by taking his place with his son at the barbershop. It's going to look away, you know what I'm saying? Words going to get said. And this is the way to keep that confusion, especially with the mom, baby, daddy situation.
And also, too, I'm sorry, Frank. And also, too, like, if he has his own barber and the child has his own barber, like, because if I'm coming into a stepfather role, clearly I had my own barber before I met her. The son had his own barber, so a conversation has to be made to say, hey, look, and this is why if I'm dealing with a woman who has a child and the father is somewhat active, this one we have to have conversations with men. Hey, brother, look, like a lot of times women keep these guys separated. They don't even want them to meet a lot of times. So, but you have to allow these men to meet, and a lot of times women don't want the guys to meet because they trying to look a certain way. They painted this picture of this man before they start dating. But the stepfather and the real father have to have a conversation and get on the same page. Hey, bro, look, this is the barber I go to. What barber does he go to? Can we get on the same page with the barbershop schedule? Because it don't always have to be conflict between the new father and the baby daddy. So that's
okay, but what about? Okay, let me ask y'all a question though. So what about when the women come in as like the step parent and their father has custody of his children? I don't never hear women be like, that ain't my son, that ain't my child. It's like that's like a lot of dudes do that. Like I don't never hear women say that. I've dated and lived with two men who had full custody of their children, of course, separate times or whatever. But they had full custody of their children, and I lived with them for long periods of time, and I cared for their child like it was mine, you know, because I was living with the father. Like never once did I be like, that ain't my child, I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be jacked up if I came home with food for me and him.
Because these men do not have 5 different children by 5 different women and are expecting you to come in and play that role. That's a rare case.
But my thing is whether or not it's 5 different. If you had in one of my situations, you got a deadbeat baby mama, and you expect for me to do things for your child, and I'm your live-in girlfriend. It don't matter if it's 5 or 1. You still have an expectation of me to be a part of your life and that child's life. I still had to pick up kids from school, help with homework. He worked at night. So what do you think that kid was with me? So I don't hear me.
How many did he have?
He only had this one child.
That makes a difference.
But another guy, he had 2 kids and 2 baby mothers.
2. We're talking about 4 and 5.
It don't matter whether it's one extra.
No, it matter.
I don't think that it matters. But I
kids matter.
Okay, so but my thing is, most of the time you hear about men having all these kids more than you hear women, because we got to be pregnant for a whole year. Men,
they don't have custody of them. They don't have custody of them.
And then another difference is what I've seen. The difference between men and women is that in most cases, when it comes to being the bonus parent with children, in most cases, I'm just saying in most cases, I'm not saying this is everybody. In most cases, men tend to have a better handle on how their children respect the mom than the mom does with the. I'm saying in most cases, you can shake your head.
That's true. That's true, Frank.
I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know.
So scared of child support.
Nope.
And they be doing and a lot of men, they be so scared of child support that they don't be having a handle on it. They try to do anything and everything to appease their baby mama, so they ain't gotta pay child support.
Nah,
Well,
I
really,
don't
child
know.
support
I don't
is
know.
the easy way out.
I don't know.
Clee, you know how much child support is?
I don't
Good
know.
But
Lord.
that's the easy way out. Well, men don't realize that you can go down there and pay that whatever amount you're gonna pay a month in that because it really takes more than that to take care of a child. That's really the easy way out. But men hate that child support. I get it.
I encourage
You know what
every
I'm
man I know to be on child support that got children because that's easy access to your children. They can't deny you access to your children if you're on child support. That's free game. That's
I
free
mean, I
game. You
agree.
automatically get a standard visitation if you're on child support. Most men don't know that.
Freer
Most-
game. You don't have to be on child support to get visitation.
Most
sure
men
don't.
don't know, but if they do it, because see, that's the fear factor. The fear factor is men feel like it's a scary thing for her to say she gonna go put you on child support. Let me tell y'all, most of the time, her putting you on child support can be the best thing that ever to happen to you. I'm telling you, the best thing that can ever happen to you. Cause no one that takes the control out of her hands. She has no choice. She can't micromanage your visitation time. She can't have nothing to say about where your child is, who your child with when they're in your possession. I'm telling you, let them go put you on child support. That's free game. But
There's some
anyway,
heavy talk there, Frank. Some heavy talk.
I'm just telling you.
But
Hey,
I
that's,
was saying,
that's,
I'm
that's
saying,
coming from somebody who can afford it.
100,000. I'm gonna need you to go and be nice, like Clee said.
Hey, that's coming from somebody who can afford it, man.
Come on,
Everybody
man.
can't
Talk
afford
about
to
it.
be getting put on
Christopher
child support.
Greer, no, we
That's
do
a
not.
lot of money.
That's your
That's a lot
question.
of
No,
money.
we don't.
I'm just talking about what I'm talking about.
Small things to a giant. I understand. Chris.
Now listen. I do want to ask this because this is kind of like an underlying tone in this story that I want to ask y'all this question. Should a mother, it's going to get touchy right here. Should a mother who cannot afford to take care of her child without the help of her father retain custody of her child?
absolutely not.
Or should that child go to the father who's able to maintain care of that child without the mother's help? Let's talk about it.
I think it depends because children need money and it's not just one or the other. And in a 2-parent home, if they were together, most things is 2 people working together, even if mom stays home and dad works, is because it's more affordable. And most people can't afford, children. I don't want to say most, but there's people who can't afford children, on their own, such that they may miss out on opportunities versus if they were together, they're able to do more, benefit from more. So I don't think that just because a mom needs a dad's help financially, that's the end all be all for her custody.
To piggyback on what you said, Tashiana, the Yakubians have a 400-year head start. And so with that being said, we in the African American community, we can't afford the luxury of time. Not all, but some. Some of us can't afford the luxury of time, i.e. meaning, okay, yeah, the father can provide for that child, but does he have the time to physically give that child that the mother has? You know what I'm saying? The mother is the first teacher. She's the nurturer. So chances are, I don't know too many judges that's going to rip the child out of the arms of their mother. However, unless she's a neglectful mother and she just trash all the way around, then there might be a fighting chance for the dad. Yeah. But they have to approve his schedule and all this sort of stuff because the child has to be in a stable home environment.
Now, Tim, did you want to get in there? Did you have something to say, Tim, before I go in? I think now if we're dealing in a situation where there's a co-parenting relationship, at some point, I think the son should go live with the father anyway. At some point, the father should have sole custody of that child anyway. At some point, maybe like once he get around 10, 11-ish, around a certain age, he needs a more dominant figure to submit to, because once a young man gets a certain age, it ain't nothing that woman gonna be able to tell him no way. It's nothing she's gonna be able to physically do to that child physically. Once he becomes 14, most boys outgrow their mother anyway. That's why they always walking around looking at them, seeing how tall they are, because he's measuring you. He's at some point, he knows that it's not whoopings ain't gonna hurt him. There's nothing you're gonna be able to physically do with their child. But a lot of women don't want the child to go live with the father because that's their means of control. They can do whatever they want to that man. They can cause hell, misery, all these different type of manipulative tactics that they use through this child.
Maybe my
mother allowed me.
Point.
My mother allowed me to go live with it was always said that once I got high school age, that I would go live with my father. And so my mother allowed that to happen because she knew that was going to be what was best for me in the long run. But my mother was a mother who had my best interests in mind rather than her feelings or her pride or her emotions in it. She didn't want to let me go, but she knew that was what was best. And it's so interesting to hear women speak on men need to be less selfish, yada yada yada. But if it's a situation where you clearly see your child would be better off with their father than they are with you, why do women still fight against it?
Well, I guess I mean, in my situations that I've been in, when I have been, the mamas did let their sons come live with the daddy. You know what I'm saying? So, but that just go. But what you just said, right, baby, about the mother using their child and control. So that's what I mean by men don't be having a handle on it. They be letting the baby mama control them with their child. You know what I'm saying? They be scared of child support. They pat that baby mama on the back, give her way, let her be rude and disrespectful because they want to see their child.
A lot of times the man just want peace. A lot of times the man just want peace. I want a peaceful co-parenting relationship.
Be a man. You can get
No,
peace. Be a man.
no,
Hey,
what I'm saying is, if I gotta hear your mouth about everything I do for my child, and you clearly seeing it's in the best interest of him, but I still got to hear your mouth. I'm not going to want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that.
Can I jump in the middle?
Yes, sir.
So here's the thing, and when you deal with a judge, the judge don't care nothing about what the woman talking about. The judge don't care nothing about what that man talking about. What y'all agree to on paper. If you don't follow the instructions on the paper that has been assigned by the judge, excluding child support. So to every man out there that think he can't see his child because he may not have paid child support, that's not how the court of law works, buddy. That's a whole different. Child support and custody rights are two different cases. Okay, so forget getting in arguments. Forget all this going back and forth. We can do that for a little bit, but after a while, okay, let me see what this court say. The judge say I got to pick my child up on Tuesday, 9 a.m. If my child is not ready by 9 a.m., I'm going back to the judge. I'm not going back and forth with you talking about whatever we're talking about. Secondly, this is an off point to what I just said. Most men don't really know what the struggle is for women that have multiple children that's barely making it. And the point I'm making is the reason why they come up with all these different excuses because men have a hard time taking care of themselves rather than saying, I'm going to take care of a woman and some other kids. It sounds good. They got their jobs, but what it really takes, the type of money it takes to take care of 4-5 people in a house, that most men don't have that. When you look at the percentages, you don't really have a large amount of men making 75 or 100. I hear all this stuff about this man make $100,000 a year. Do y'all know that's like 4% of all men in America that make $100,000? So
don't tell Tatiana that because she think everybody make She
No,
think
they don't.
everybody make six figures or above.
No.
I don't think that. And in fact, I know that's not the case. So don't do me like that.
You remember now? A couple seasons ago, you was who don't make. You don't remember that? You don't remember that?
I'm enlightened. See, I'm a new me.
All
You
right,
reach
let's
back in
juice it
old
up a little
seasons.
bit. Stick in scenario time. Stick in scenario time as we get ready to close out this season. Here we go. You bared a child, and you've been raising this child for 5 years now. You've been raising this child for 5 years now. You get word through somebody else that this could possibly not be your child. You thought all this time this is your child. You have no other reason to believe this is not your child. That's what you were told. This is what you believe. That's what you have implemented into your life. You've been taking care of this child. As a man, you get word that this might not be yours through somebody else. So you test the baby. Test the baby. And the test comes back 0% chance that you are the father. Do you still have a responsibility, or should you still take care of that child like that child is your own?
Now I'm out of there.
Do you cut ties, or do you, as the ladies would say, do you step up and be a stand-up guy,
No.
a stand-up man, and continue to take care of that child? Let's talk about it.
I'm out of there like I never met him.
Oh, I can't do that. Me personally, I think, when you got a real heart for children, and when you build a bond and have a certain type of love for that child, 5 years later, I found out it's not mine, and then all of a sudden, I just say I don't even know the child because I found out it's not my kid. Oh no. 5 years in, that's my child. I don't even, matter of fact, we ain't even we can't go on no baby daddy search. 5 years?
No.
Because that's my son.
Because here's the deal. You knew that this was not my child.
What if she did?
She knew it was not my child.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Frank, you said that?
No, I didn't, but
No,
I'm saying if you find out,
she knew it could have been a possibility, and that was not shared.
Okay, yeah, that moved the goalpost. I can agree with that.
So why not see? Again, we getting back to this right to choose, and women tend to think that the right of choice only applies to women. You stripped away my right to choose if I want to deal with this by not at least letting me know, hey, there's a possibility that this might not be your child.
So Samuels, you telling me this child loved you to death, calling you dad, and you didn't build that type of bond, and all of a sudden you just gonna tell this child, hey, I ain't the dad, get away from me, I'm done with you, and you ain't gonna never want to see the child again?
I gotta show him tough love. I ain't gonna say I don't never want to see him again, but I'm going to remove myself from this situation because I've been manipulated.
But not by the child.
Look,
right?
No. Because what you're not gonna do is hold me responsible for this child's well-being when the mother put him in that situation.
But
Samuel, it's not about being responsible and the mother not being responsible. Consider that the mother is responsible for her actions because the mother's going to be responsible for her actions. That's a conversation she has to have with her son.
She was going to keep this part.
But this is about you. You're talking about accountability. So if you want to be mad at a grown mother, but a kid who didn't knock on nobody and ask to be here, you mean to tell me you're just gonna dip out and that's tough love on
absolutely.
him? That's like destroying black men, and I am ashamed of you. I'm
she destroyed a black man when she allowed me to believe that this was a child that wasn't mine.
And you're gonna double down on it then, right?
I'm tripling down on this. Now I'm out of there.
Travis, what you got?
I got to side with my boy Kevin Samuels. I'm sorry, Dr. Martin Luther King, Kevin Samuels. Right back.
Kevin Samuels, Luther King.
So look, I got a couple points. The first point is I don't like when women try to describe a good man, because oftentimes when they describe a good man, it's normally a trick. And case in point, My last name is Terry. My father's last name is Lynn. How did that happen, you say? My mother was married to Brother Terry, but she went creeping with Mr. Lynn. But had this man to think that I was his son. So they got married. He signed the birth certificate. Fool. Then, not to mention, my mom was such a player, she did it again with my sister, with the same man. But this time, he got a little smart. No, he didn't. I think she ended up leaving him. That's what happened. She left him. So my point being,
business out there like that, though.
Hey, it's the truth. I'm grown. She 50 something. I'm 34. It's back in 87 somewhere. My point being is, ain't no way. I don't have a relationship with that man. He signed my birth certificate. That man left when I was around 2 or 3, something like that. The point being is that child will get over it. I didn't even know that man. Now I see him at the gas station pumping. I saw him probably a couple years ago pumping gas. He was like, "Travis, that's you?" "Yeah, that's me." "Man, boy, I ain't seen you in a long time. How you doing?" "I'm doing good." "Man, that's good. Well, take care now."
Didn't you say in this scenario that it was an 18-year-old that you find out, or did I miss it?
No, I say it's 5-year-old.
I mean, when the baby's a little younger, I apologize, my baby. I don't know why I heard 18.
No,
it could be 18. I got a partner who took
5.
care of a kid. And he didn't find out the kid wasn't his to his 18th birthday.
See, but I'm saying at that point, at 18, you wouldn't dip out on the kid, would you?
They said 5. They said 5.
So 5 money. What you got, money?
Transparency moment. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I had a young lady. It was half the time this 5 years. I had a young lady who told me that the child that I was taking care of at the time was mine. So it was 2.5 years, 2.5 year stretch. Beautiful little girl, by the way. Who she told me was mine. I went in, got a DNA test. This is where accountability comes in for the fellas. I went and sat down with her and took a at-home test, a little swab. You know what I'm saying? We sat down, did the swab. I'm so green to the situation. I'm knowing the baby not mine. She tampered with the results. I'm so dumb. I didn't take the test with me, go mail it off. An idiot, right? Get the test results back. Shows that I'm the father. I'm shocked. I'm in shock. I go pick up the baby. I immediately start making a bond with her. For 2.5 years, I fell in love with this little girl. Straight up. Fell in love with this little girl. I'm paying daycare every week. I'm supplying her with everything she needs. Her mom is no longer covering anything that she used to cover. I'm covering it now. All right. I'm doing all this stuff. Mind you, my people is heavy in the church. I'm bringing my child to church with me. You know what I mean? My grandma and granddad, they building relationships with her. All this type of stuff. All right. Time goes by. I'm trying to get her last name changed. She's giving me the runaround. I'm knowing something not right about this. So, of course, I'm like, all right. Now, I wonder why she's doing this. So I'm going to get my own test. Then she comes out of the blue and tells me, hey, remember a conversation we had a long time ago where you asked me if was it a possibility that she could be anybody else, and I told you no. And I was like, yeah. She was like, well, I lied. She could be somebody else. This is after 2.5 years. She told me this. So I'm gonna tell you how manipulative this chick is. Y'all, my real name is Charles, like Charles Barkley. She spelled her name Charlei, Charlie, which was like my whole entire name besides the last letter. Then she went through this whole situation, man. Asked me where I work at, all this type of stuff. I told her I was a garbage man. I'm just saying stuff, right? So, long story short, I'm at work, y'all. I'm at work, and I go and leave, and I go to the place to get this Test done. I'm gonna speed this story up. I get there. I'm filling out the. Before I get there, she's telling me, "Hey, you were supposed to be here by 4 o'clock. If you don't get here by 4 o'clock, I have to fill out this paperwork for you so they can do what they have to do." I'm giving her all my information over the phone. She does everything. By the time I get there, I do the actual test. I leave. A couple of weeks go by, they tell me that I'm gonna get my test results. It's a couple of weeks. I'm still waiting for the test results. I haven't gotten them back yet. So I reached out to her. I'm like, "Hey, have you gotten the test results?" She was like, "Nah, I haven't gotten them." Next week, same situation. So I'm like, "All right, something ain't right." I remember the place that I went to, so I Googled them. I found the number. I called. When I called, I told them who I was. They asked me questions to verify who I was, all this stuff. So then they say, "Hey, the paperwork that you filled out when you came in, at the bottom of the paper, it asked how would you like to receive your test results. You never filled out how you want to receive your test results." Remind y'all, I didn't get the chance to fill the paperwork out. She filled it out for me. So I never got the test results back. She had them weeks ago. I never got them. So I asked them immediately. I'm like, "Hey, this is my email address because y'all send me those results as soon as you can." They said yes. I immediately get off the phone. I'm constantly refreshing my phone, waiting for it to pop up. It pops up. As soon as it pops up, it shows that I am a 0% chance of the father. This happened a few years ago. You know what I mean? So with that being said, like I am the whole 18-year-old thing is just something that just came up out of nowhere. But I tell you from personal experience, and I think I'm a pretty decent man. What I did was I cut ties with that child. It wasn't immediate. It wasn't immediate, but I had to cut ties with that child. I had to stop my mom from going to pick her up, stop my grandma from going to pick her up because I couldn't deal with it myself. And what I did was I believe in God. I don't know if everybody else do. I believe in God, and I believe that God can take care of that child better than I ever could. So I prayed, you know what I mean? I prayed and I asked God, you know what I mean, whatever the will is for him, you know, on that child's life to, you know, to make sure it happens. And I believe that she's in a circumstance where, you know, God is providing for her and making sure she's straight. But it was really hard for me. I had to leave this situation alone. I have not looked back. I have not reached out to her mother. I have not reached out to her. And, you know what I mean, I've thought about it here and there, but yeah, I had to let this situation go. And that hurt me to the core. So
that's messed up. She was manipulative and deceitful, and I definitely feel you on that. I think that if this was a man, if it was my son or I got nephews, if it was one of my nephews, I feel like that's up to that man. If you feel compelled to stay and be a part of that child's life, then that's on you. If you feel like you want to leave, then that's on you. You had that choice now that you know that that's not your child. Now, I always say my logic is after 3 years old, it might be a little difficult because kids start remembering, I feel like around 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? 2, 3 and under, you can probably get up out of there before it's too late. But like 5 and especially 18.
If it's 10 or 15, I'm getting up out of there. Get up out of there.
I mean, that's you, but that's your decision. You have a choice to make at that point. And if you want to walk away and you don't care, then you know, hey, that's you.
Because here's the deal. Here's the deal. Like people saying, well, don't take it out on the child, but the mother is still going to benefit from that. From her being manipulative, from her being foul, greasy, all these type of low life activities that she was involved in, low level thinking, she's still going to benefit from me being a stand-up guy and say, hey, look, it don't even matter what you, all those times a night when you hurt me and went out with this other dude, like I'm still going to stay here and take care of this child. She's still going to benefit from me feeling guilty about leaving. And that's another game that they play. They're going to use your own emotions against you. So I just, you have to get up out of there in order to, man, have some dignity to move on with your life and to heal, because no man is going to willingly, like he's not going to be able to stay there and deal with that child knowing that that's not his.
If men do it all the time, baby, that's a lie.
Well, no, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if she told him on the front end, That's different because you gave him a right to choose. But if he found out on a humbug or he found out that that child was not his, he's not going to be able to deal with it.
A lot of men have been. That's not an uncommon situation. Y'all know that, don't. That happens a whole lot.
And a lot of men don't. A lot of men leave.
A lot of men stay, especially when the child is like teenager, 10 years old or something like that.
I'm getting up out of there.
Should DNA test be mandatory at childbirth, no matter the situation?
Facts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Why not?
Even if married, child DNA test should be mandatory.
Mandatory.
You should feel all the more confident.
Because listen, if I'm married and my wife step out on me and get a baby, I'm financially and legally responsible for whatever she go out there and do. So you should we should know on the front end. So if we're married and you step out and get a baby and the DNA test proved that I'm not the child's father, now I can file for divorce. I'm no longer financially responsible for this child. I'm getting up out of there.
And you know what? Women are trying to run this game on you about, so you don't trust me? You think I step out on you? That's manipulation. It ain't even about that. That's me giving me peace of mind at night. You don't feel like I should have peace of mind?
Trust but verify.
There you go.
It all depends on how you do it, and it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's my husband and we having a baby and it birthday do that, okay, that's fine. If that's like protocol, you want to make sure. But if you come to me like, I think we need the DNA test like randomly out the blue or something like that, then I might be like, where this coming from? I probably still will go ahead and do it because I do think that you should go ahead and do it at birth. You know what I'm saying? They got it now where I think you can do it before the baby born. I feel like you can get a DNA test before the baby's even born. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But it's not, I think that I probably would definitely feel some type of way if it came like left field. Like if you and your husband know y'all done had some little issues or something like that, and it might have been some infidelity issues, then of course. But if it's just coming out of left field, it's not asking me for it, but it's just how you do it. If you come to me like you think I've been stepping out on you, then I might, feel some type of way. But I'll probably still go ahead and do it.
That's why the woman should be okay. So should women shouldn't have a problem accepting a child. If I go out and cheat and bring a couple of kids home, you shouldn't have no problem with accepting my.
Women do it all the time, though. They do, but that happens a lot. Women do that all the time, right, baby. And them women have to be reminded every time that this man cheated on me. And guess what they do? They still feed them. They feed all the kids. They bring all the kids McDonald's. Women do that all the time.
My dad didn't let my stepmama feed us.
Hey, I saw a comment. That just said, "Whatever happened to the trust?" Hey, that to me is like if I tell you that I had a STD, I had syphilis, I had whatever you could think of that you do not want to partake in, right? And then I'm like, oh man, I used to have it. I don't have it no more though. Are you gonna be like, okay, cool, yeah, we can have intercourse, or you gonna say, nah, you gotta show me these papers first? Same exact thing. You're not gonna lay down with me just because I told you I don't have it no more. Are you serious? Like, come on.
I mean,
no. It ain't got nothing to do with
Tashiana
trust.
specifically said that the child didn't do anything. The mama did. So if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the mother. Tim seemed to have agreed with that. My question is, does the man's feelings or emotional capacity ever matter in these situations? Like, because the sentiment seems to be like, suck it up, be a man. You were deceived, you were lied to. That's okay. Just go. Just still be the child's dad, even though you're not the child's dad, even though you thought you were the child's dad, still be the child's dad, and you'll be okay. It's about the child. As long as the child is okay, it doesn't matter if you're okay, as long as the child is.
That's not my sentiment. You know, like I said, for whatever reason, I've seen a couple of different scenarios. I thought this was one about 18. So, I mean, especially hearing what Money said, leaving when the child is younger, you know, they do say kids are resilient. Honestly, like it's different, but you know, it's still trauma. Like kids go through divorce, you know, you're not gonna just stay married because of the kid. So it's like you wouldn't just stay there for the kid because you were told and you guys have kind of started to build that bond over the years. Yes, that could be hard, but I get that. I do think at 18 it's different, and absolutely the dads or presumed dads, alleged dads feelings matter. But I think that what a lot of us are saying is that everybody's feelings matter, including the child's. So I don't think it's, if anybody's feelings shouldn't really matter or be on the bottom of the totem pole, probably the mama. But the dad's feelings absolutely do matter. And so I think the whole weaning, like Money mentioned that he did, I think that's a wise, compassionate, honorable way to deal with it. Ray Baby just, you know, he's Kevin Luther Samuel. So maybe he would do something similar to how Money did it, but maybe he's just expressing it, you know, in a brasher way. I don't know.
I ain't gonna stunt. If
I'm out of there.
I'm in love with my old lady, I probably steal the baby pamper and go get it tested. I wouldn't even tell her I'm gonna go get it tested. I'm gonna swab that baby in the middle of the night.
Yeah. You know it's home DNA test now. You can just do it yourself, put it in and send it off, and they're accurate. Or they could get sued if it's inaccurate. So yeah.
Hey, cause truth of the matter is, you get kudos for doing things that you don't have to do, as long as it's in the benefit of the child and the mother.
Yeah.
You don't like you
but not benefiting you. The man benefits don't matter.
No, because in a situation like that, in a situation like that, they expect you to put your feelings and how you feel on the back burner, because it's no longer about you. You see what I'm saying?
The fact that the man no longer has to spend money that he shouldn't have been spending in the first place, that doesn't matter. The time that he's spending, it no longer matters. Just everything is about what's convenient, what's cool for the child or the mother.
Bro, you are looked at.
We all were children at one point. And Frank, if you was that child in this situation, and you will grow up resentful of both of those things. You'll be mad at your mama because she know who her baby daddy was.
I just be mad at my mama.
You be mad, but I'm saying it would cause a problem with that child.
But it's my mama's fault though. It's my mother's fault. It's not this man's fault who's not my dad that believed to be my dad because he walked away.
If you find out right now that your daddy wants your daddy, and he just say, forget you for the rest of your life, don't want to be a part of your daughter's life or any of that, you're not gonna resent him. You're gonna look at him like he crazy, like, nah, for real.
You shouldn't resent him because it ain't his fault.
Me being a fully grown man now.
Right now. So you'll cut off all ties with your dad. If you found out he was not your daddy,
have no choice.
And I don't believe it. You would cut if you find out right now that your daddy is not your daddy.
But I can't even rap because he is my daddy. They did a blood test. Yeah, but he is 99.999% father.
You cannot
look just like the nigga.
At that point, things are connected. Like somebody in the comments said earlier when we were talking about this, it's matters of the heart. At that point, if you are emotionally connected to that child, you ain't gonna just walk out. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna just leave. I do believe that there is an age cutoff with the child.
Yeah. So at 18, maybe like 23, 25, like you have no more like the obligations as far as like day-to-day life are kind of like past you. So I mean, what are you really losing?
Parents, when we're grown, and it's like women, when we get 30-something, adults, and we have children, we still go to our mothers to help us, to teach us how to be mothers.
Yeah.
And the same thing with fathers. So you mean to tell me?
What's interesting that happens is when, in most cases, when a person finds that out, they go to seeking, in most cases, I'm not saying all cases, they go to seeking their biological parents. Their biological parents could have not been present at all. but because we have an affection or affinity to be connected to what's really ours, we will sometimes put who actually took care of us on the back burner to get close to those who have not.
Yeah. This is why I'm an advocate of finding out the true story. If you are a child at that point and you don't know the situation, you know what I mean, whether you're with mom or you're with dad, you're only gonna get one half of this story. Do not resent that other parent until you get a chance to have a conversation with that parent. This is why it's so beneficial to once you get older and you get a little bit more mature and you don't look at mama as I know my mama did all the right stuff. Or I know my daddy did all the right stuff. I don't even want to talk to the opposite side, man. Forget them. They weren't there this whole time. Find out why. Why weren't they there the whole time? What did your mom do? What did your dad do to your mom? Situations like this, have a conversation and figure out the whole totality of the situation versus just building resentment for somebody who has no ill intent towards you whatsoever, who probably didn't get the opportunity to be around you like you probably thought they did or like you were told they did. Go and seek this information for yourself and get closure. I would really recommend everybody to do that if you're in this situation.
And please go get the information why said parents are still alive, because the truth come out when they leave here. It'll be 3 years Friday that my dad left the earth. And let me tell you something, I find something new just about every week. So I definitely, mothers, if you and baby daddy got some beef, man, y'all fixed it. It ain't about y'all. It's about the child. The child's best interest should be in the forefront, not your ego. All right, you know what I'm saying? And I get tired. I see it every day on social media. I get sick and tired of seeing it. The child's future, the child's well-being is what's most important. You know what I'm saying? It is a hurtful place. You don't want your child to be 30 years old in therapy, blaming the mama. Because it happens.
It does.
Because
when you walk out that child, right, baby? When you walk out that child's life, now you done create. You have assisted the mother in creating.
I have not done anything. The mother.
That's the mama's fault. That's the mama's fault.
It's not the mama's fault. No, ma'am, Pam.
It's the mama's fault. But you have assisted the mother in creating a child that's gonna be out of society, messed up in the head.
You are not about. You are not about
tough titty.
You're not about to hold me accountable for your trifling ways. It's not
also another thing too, though. This also another point. I'm gonna make this, and this one I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it alone at this point because Mo D make a point. This is a train topic. However, if you know if you don't went up in this, you wasn't responsible. If a woman can pin a baby on you, you knew you wasn't responsible because
that's not true.
It is because you smashed her. You went up in that dog and you know like that.
Okay. So if you're married,
what if they married? What if they married?
If you married,
if you married and she stepped out, then of course the woman is completely 100% wrong. But I'm talking about baby daddies. That's why y'all need to stop having these kids.
Listen.
That's why you stop having all these babies with all these women. Anyway.
You making absolutely zero sense because if we're in a relationship,
zero sense this whole night.
Because
you not gonna wear, you ain't gonna leave.
Listen,
that baby.
We're dealing with logic. We're dealing with logic. Can we deal with logic? We ain't dealing with whole logic. We dealing with real logic. Whole logic is a woman feel like she can go out in the world and do whatever it is that she want to do. And that man has to. And then listen. And then
nothing. Then that's. I don't like when you be putting this on all women. Just say the women you deal with. Ghetto buddy. Because
I'm saying this is in.
I'm very strategic about that. I'm like money. Careful. I ain't having a nigga baby.
Listen.
Mercy on you, bro.
Now listen. Because there's a demographic of women who deal with whole logic and not real logic. Whole logic is when you go out and
deal with whole logic too.
Can I finish?
How many baby mamas you get?
Whole logic is when you want to.
I want to know. You got 1 or 2?
Listen.
3. How many kids you get? How many baby mamas you get?
Listen.
How many baby mamas you got? How many
Whole
kids
logic.
you married?
Whole logic is
like
winning.
whole logic.
Hold on, clean.
I'm just saying,
Listen,
how many kids you got? How many baby mamas you got? And are you with any of them? Are you paying child support?
I've never been on.
You make 100,000 a year. I need to know.
How many bodies do you have?
I be like, what do you do? What are you doing?
How many bodies you have so I can gauge what kind of logic you
a lot of and what and so guess what? Ain't no baby popped up out of this thing either. And I don't have to go to no abortion clinics either.
We don't know that. That's not confirmed.
We ain't got no verification.
We ain't got no verification.
So, how many kids do you have? How many baby mamas do you have?
I have 3. I
need to know all of this because you keep talking about women and hoes and women and women. What do you be doing?
You must be offended. You must be a victim of the whole lot.
Bother me every week. This is the season finale. Those curtains bother me every week because I just want to know.
You won't let me. You won't let me finish. You won't let me finish.
Because you be talking so crazy and you come up with this whole logic and all this stuff, but I need to know
because whole logic. Because if you let me finish, whole logic.
Do you have whole logic? You know, right? Because you a hoe, right? So,
whole logic.
Those curtains bother me every week.
You're offended. You're offended because I'm attacking your logic.
No, I'm not a hoe. I'm not a hoe, and I can be honest about that. I talk about my business all the time on my own podcast, so you can't never make me feel
this is what you gotta
like that. However, you be on this show talking reckless about women like a he-man woman hater or something. When don't generalize us. I don't like this.
This is a general topic.
No, you be like y'all women. That ain't all women. Let's say them ghetto bunnies you deal with.
Okay, listen. Let me throw a statistic out there to you. There's a guy who has been doing DNA tests in Memphis for over 20-something years. He says that when a guy comes in and get a DNA test, the guy is not the father 65% of the time. 65% of the time. So this happens more often than not. So whole logic, before I was rudely interrupted, is when a woman feels that they can do anything and that man has to accept them for whatever they done. That is not real logic. I don't have to.
You don't understand what you're saying, right, baby? I know more women stay with men for their bull crap more so than men stay with women for their bull crap. You cannot
because we don't have to accept it. We don't have to accept it.
And y'all don't. Women accept it. So when you talking about women just think that men supposed to accept their bull crap. Women, we accept y'all bull crap.
Because you have an issue with a man leaving and breaking ties with a child that a woman went out there and got and manipulated him to thinking that was his. He's wrong, but she's not.
That's not what I said. See, there you listen to respond. You don't listen to comprehend, my nigga. That I never said that. I never said that. I did not say that. I said the man has a choice if he wants to leave or if he wants to stay. But I said, like somebody in the comments said, it's a matter of the heart. If you find it in your heart to go ahead and leave that child when you have been a father figure all of this time and you just dip out, like you didn't want to be there in the first place. You didn't want no kids in the first place.
That's not true.
That is true. Because at the end of the day, it's about the child.
It's not about the child. It's not about the child. It's about me. I've been manipulated.
You can still hold that woman accountable for her bad decision. And guess what? Let's be all the way honest. It ain't never we can tell somebody to be accountable and hold people accountable. But at the end of the day, we can't make nobody do nothing. That's up to God at the end of the day to hold people accountable and stuff like that. However, I never said that he need to stay and all that stuff like that.
You said once he get a certain age, you said if he 3 or 4, 5 years old and he decide to leave, he's wrong.
I never said he was wrong. I said he has a choice. It's really up to him. It's a matter of the heart. If you feel in your heart, if you a green ass nigga and you want to just leave.
Okay, why am I green? Why am I green for leaving?
Because of that child, not the mama of the child. I did not say that he was wrong. I said he has a choice to make.
You call him green? You call him green?
Yeah, you green. Because if it was me.
Okay, you judging him for making this choice.
No, I'm not judging him.
You call him green.
At 18, yes. At 18, yes, that's green. Well, money,
this
what
is
the
this is
situation Ray
choice.
was in, no, not so much so. That baby was little and he had enough time to get on up out of there. But
Man,
once you have raised a child to a point where they remember you as daddy, and then you just walk away, you just like a deadbeat dad too. Then.
How am I a deadbeat dad when I fulfill obligations to a child that wasn't mine for 18 years?
But once you sign a paper and say that's yours, then that's your obligation at that point.
No, if I was manipulated into that by thinking this child is mine.
Like I said, you have a choice to make. That's up to you. If you want to be like, you know what, forget this child, you didn't want to be there in the first place.
That's not true.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you have followed, because if you love your children and you've been loving your kids for 10 years, and then you find that child ain't yours, you gonna stop?
Yes, because it's not mine.
I don't know nobody who would do that. I don't know nobody who would even do
you looking at somebody that'll do it.
Well, you don't count. Because you got
for the record, I have 2 grown children. I've never been on child support. I spend time with my children.
You got how many kids? What you saying?
I have 2 grown children.
So 2 grown children.
I have 2 grown. I've never been on child support. Never. Because I take care of my responsibility. I've been there since day one. Never missed a birthday, doctor's appointment, school function, none of that. Reading to children, school stuff, all of that. So you can't tarnish my legacy as a father because you feeling some kind of way.
No, I'm not feeling no kind of way.
My record as a father is flawless.
You had too, because we talking about.
I have 3 children, 2 baby mamas. My record as a father is flawless.
Is it? It's flawless.
It's flawless. It's flawless. It's flawless.
That's up for debate.
My record speaks for itself. Check around and ask.
I don't know who these people are because they saying Facebook users.
It's all love. It's all love.
It's all love, baby.
It's all love.
Them curtains.
It's all love, y'all. It's all love. Man, this went this went further left than I thought it was gonna go. I didn't know it was gonna go this far left tonight.
I got a comment on my phone though, Ray. Somebody said that Joseph, if y'all want to get religious, Joseph took care of Jesus and that was his child.
That's what. Hey, look. Look.
And he believed her. He asked no DNA test. He just said,
let me ask you this. There is no man in America that his woman can come home and say she got pregnant by a spirit. Somebody went in her.
Jesus. Joseph didn't
boy, ain't no way, boy.
Joseph didn't leave.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Joseph did not leave. He stayed down. Took care of that child.
All right. This has been a grand season finale. Jaylen, you missed about half the show, baby. You was in the car first. Then you had to get to the house.
I was in a remote location and the service wasn't well. So
okay.
Remote location.
That what happened when you in a remote location, huh? All right. Listen, last words, everybody. It's the last show. Y'all have it. Mo than tapped out on us. Mo last words.
I did not tap out. It was just a little overwhelming. But this has been a great season. Y'all done kind of stressed me out tonight. Y'all gotta hush. Anyways, my bad. It's been a great season, Frank. I'm so thankful for this opportunity to be on this platform. I have literally met everybody on this platform except money, and I value all of our friendships, no matter how much y'all argue and go back and forth and talk about each other. It's been an amazing, amazing season. Tashiana, I've been honored to be alongside you with Frank. It's been a pleasure. I'm excited for everything that Frank has to offer. I know he has a lot of big things coming up. I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you. It's been fun. I've learned a lot. Like Clee said, I have learned a lot on this season. I've grown. And I value all of our friendships, and I wish nothing but the best for all of y'all. Jalen, I haven't seen you in so long, so it was a pleasure. You always somewhere, girl. But it was a pleasure for you to share this platform with us tonight, and I really appreciate it. I love y'all, and I wish nothing but the best. I can't wait for the next season. So
Yes,
nothing but
ma'am.
good vibes.
Jalen, you got something to say? I know this is your first show in this season, but
I
what's
know,
real?
and then I would have all these issues. That's just not right. I'm just trying to figure out why I didn't get an invite prior, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, here you
Don't try to
go.
bring me in on the last little
Here you
tidbit.
go. Here you go.
Yeah.
Um,
I was watching from afar, though. You had a great season. I'm happy to have been asked to join you on your finale. It was a little rough. I don't know what was going on, but if this is the way, it's going to be next season, then hopefully I get an invite to join in on the madness. So
for sure.
congrats on a great
Sure.
season.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Travis?
Man, thanks a lot, cuz, for inviting me on the platform, man. It was pretty dope. As to piggyback on what Mo said, I've gained a lot of new friends. I feel like I gained some new cousins with decent credit. So yeah, I think we all need to go hang out and go get drinks or something. Communion.
Look,
Pastor.
first round on Ray Baby, since he talks so much. First round.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, Ray, Clee,
I
don't know if I want to go nowhere with Ray Baby.
Come on, Clee. We ain't gonna do that.
We just gotta go somewhere where we're always loud.
y'all gotta kiss and hug, Ray and Clee. Y'all gotta hug that out.
Her hug, man.
That's what family do. Y'all gotta kiss and hug. Make up.
I have a question because I was kind of late. Is this man real name Ray Baby or y'all just calling him Nick?
His name on Facebook is Ray Baby.
I earned that name.
Oh,
from remote locations.
Oh,
Tim, real quick, last words before you get off.
The movie theater background is gone. You always got cinema background. So
it's over.
I ain't used to see you like this.
Yeah, I feel naked right now. Okay, so I just want to thank you, Frank, and to all of you guys that come on every week, for allowing me to come on and be a part of the show. And y'all did pretty good this season. I want to say to the ladies, to the men, y'all was always A1. Y'all said nothing wrong. The entire season. I'm saying flawless information. Flawless. Even though Clee, your grand finale was life changing. I will never forget the curtains in the background. That was classic. I'm excited, Frank, for next year. Can't wait to see. It keep getting bigger and bigger. So, not next year, but next season.
Yeah. For sure. Appreciate it, Tim. Did who Tashiana, Clee, and Money and Ray Baby? Okay, Money.
I didn't go.
Yeah, I'm saying didn't go yet. Money.
Yeah, hey, great season finale, man. I love to see us go back and forth. Hey, if this ain't the best show on earth, I don't know what it is. And straight up, like, where else can y'all go to hop on a podcast and get so many different types of people, so many genuine people, man, and just being themselves and not having to be controlled by no narrative or nothing like that. This is literally breaking the mold because you're doing a great, phenomenal job. Your co-host, Mo and Tashiana, y'all did great throughout the whole season. The fellas came in, right, baby? You came in this season, and they said you was the #1 voted man now, and you proved why. You know what I mean? I'm just, from the outside looking in, I'm not just saying it just because I view y'all as my family, man, but for real, it ain't too. I'm a podcast guy. I watch a lot of podcasts. This is one of the very few where it's raw, authentic, and you have people, like I said, being them natural selves, man. Like it don't get too much better than this. So, cuz, congratulations to you and the
Appreciate that,
co-host, and you know what I mean. I hope to see nothing but elevation on the next year, next season. And Clee, man, it's so hard not to love Clee. Ain't it? It's just hard not to love Clee, man. But you know that's it, man. And we definitely need to look. This was my one suggestion. We definitely need to go out somewhere or whatever case might be. Everybody on the panel. And one thing I will suggest is, cuz whenever you do that, bring a video. Like you gotta video this. You gotta
Yeah.
video this.
Yeah.
You gotta blog it. It's gotta be put out there. We gotta have Ray Baby and Clee in the same building.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Hey, and let's get Tim to Memphis ASAP because we need Tim and Tatiana to be in the same building too. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure whenever we link, man, bring the camera. Let's get a bunch of footage, man. And it'll be off the chart.
For sure. Appreciate it, cuz. Tatiana.
Well, of course, I'm going to say thank you to Frank because that's my link to this opportunity. Everybody on the panel. I feel like it's been really exciting, fun. I get to let my hair down a little more, so I think that's cool. I think it's cool just how you're growing and blossoming. And I don't know, I'm just excited and grateful. So thanks for having me. And that's it.
Clee.
No, me and Ray do not need to go on no date. Neither. I would never. Okay. Frank. Am I loud? Because I hear myself back. Okay. Anyway, but Frank, thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. I'm very proud of you and all your accomplishments. I have definitely made some new friends, with doing this. What else can I say? I think my parting thoughts that I want to say is I just really would like for the women and the men in the Black community to just stop this sex war and find love again and, build the family back up. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got to worry about baby mamas and baby daddies and child support and, what women don't do and what men don't do. So that's kind of because I think that even though it's good for conversation in our platforms that we use, because I also have a podcast too, and it's good for entertainment. It is draining to see that our community, we don't stick together. We go back and forth with each other. What women don't do, what men don't do, and all this stuff like that. So hopefully, us on this platform and the people that are watching, because that's what this season has done for me, is gave me more male perspectives on things and made me more understanding in my dating life to the guys that I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? So definitely proud of you, Frank. I enjoy being on here this season with you, and let's bridge the gap, Black people.
Absolutely.
For sure. Appreciate that. Ray, baby.
I am so thankful for this opportunity to be able to come on this platform and express myself. I've heard a lot of great things about you, Frank. I'm glad I was able to come in and witness that for myself. I'm thankful that money came along and provided me the backup that I needed. I've always admired how chill, how calm and chill he is. I admire that. The people that's on this podcast, I've grown to become real familiar and close with. Glad to see Mo with her hair done tonight. Edges intact.
First off, baby, my hair. One thing for sure, I'm together.
Tatiana, you disagree with me initially, but we've grown to be on the same page. I'm taking her under my wing as well. Clee is my publisher.
No, we're not going for it. First of all, no, Clee said you got to get some new curtains first. First order of business.
I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable where I am. I don't give a damn about these curtains.
You better tell them.
Look, Clea is really my protege. I'm raising her. I'm grooming her. She is on my breast and nurturing from this game.
Me with this hoology we're talking about now.
I have been
I'm
nursing.
proud of him because he ain't said roles in a long time.
Right, because I don't have to say it's on autopilot. Y'all already know. So I have been nursing Clea from my first appearance. She is almost off the breast milk now. But honestly though, man, I love this show, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the opportunity. Proud of you, Frank. Everybody, love on y'all people. Give y'all people their flowers while they can smell them, man. Thank y'all.
Man, I want to say to everybody, thank you, Mo. Thank you, Tashiana, for being my co-host this season. Thank you, Cleek. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Money. Thank you, Ray Baby. And Deanna. Thank you, Deanna. My vision for this season was Memphis, as you know. And I think we were successful at that. I think Memphis has some excellent, some brilliant, creative people that reside in this city. And so as many as I can get a hold of, I want to share the little platform that I do have with you. So thank you guys for being a part of this. Each one of you have a special place in my heart. Some of you I've known longer than others, and some I just met in the past year. Just started talking to in the past 2 years. Some of you I know my whole life, cause Money. Travis I known for a long time, and Mo I've known for a while. So man, and I just want to say thank y'all so much for giving me your time every week, for making the sacrifice to show up here week after week. I know that it was a big commitment. So thank you so much for just your time and for your input on this platform in particular. I want to say I appreciate you guys so much. There would be no Frankly Speaking this season without you, without your commitment. So thank y'all so much for your time. I'm very, very, very grateful. And I'm excited about what each and every one of you are doing. Mo has things that she's doing. Make sure you're following her on Instagram to keep up. She's doing some dope things, women and dope things. She's selling, she's creating, she's always doing something. So make sure you follow her. My boy Travis always have done his thing on the musician front. He's always somewhere. Make sure you catch him whenever he posts a flyer. Let's support each other. Money, cuz always got something crazy, something major brewing. So let's make sure we support him. Ray Baby, I know he got a book or something about hoology or something that's gonna come out. Legacy Mama Tashiana been doing her thing. Is that girl? You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate her so much. She doesn't need this, haven't need this at all. So for her to sacrifice, I appreciate that so much, and just for her being who she is. Clean man, my girl, my shooter, my hitter. I appreciate her so much for her just being her genuine self, and I'm looking forward to seeing the new podcast, Party of Four, and what y'all do with that. I believe it's going to be big. I believe it's going to be major. And so, man, to each and every one of you, I speak life to you. I speak prosperity to you. I speak blessings to you. I speak overflow to you. I don't believe any one of us will have to live in a just enough zone, that each and every one of us will be in a place of more than enough in all of our lives and all of our platforms that we do. Oh man, I want to say keep up with me. In August, I'll be launching the radio show. Frankly Speaking, the radio show. I'll be on, man, Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday on 104.1 FM and 12:40 a.m. I'll be on Monday through Friday. So that's big, that's major. This platform opened the door for that. And so I'm grateful for what God is doing in my life. This is out of the box for me. This is something I never did. But I'm grateful that God still opens doors for that. So keep up with me, man. Make sure you follow everybody on Instagram. Last but not least, you know I got to give a hot take to end the show, end the season with. I've been seeing a lot of Christians that are using religion, to me, in the wrong way to keep people in prison in ways that you should not. God himself is pro-choice. That God in his infinite wisdom and God in his omnipotence does not make us choose him. He's a God of free will. So I believe that it is wrong for us as Christians to look at people whom choose to maybe do what they want to do with their bodies in the wrong way and say that we have a right to force them to not have a choice when your God is pro-choice himself. So let's be careful that we don't use the Bible, that we don't use God in a way that he would not use himself. He does not force himself upon anybody. He draws us to him and he allows us to make the choice. So let's just be careful moving forward that we don't use the wrong rhetoric and we draw people away from God because of how our take is wrong. God does not want us to choose him unwillingly. So let's allow people to do what they want to do with themselves. And if they choose God, they choose that. And they may do the same with their bodies. That's all I got to say, man. I'm Frank Ray III, aka Frankly Speaking. I'll holla. Thank y'all. Peace out.
Peace out.